Right. Good evening, everybody. And a very warm welcome again from a still cold evening in Delhi. And Pan is right here. Now, Pan and his friends are getting ready to go off to school. It's been many, many days, and they know school's going to be fun and so cool. And then, when they reach the gate, they meet little Bunny, who's never late. Bunny uses the wheelchair to go around, and with his friends, he can always be found. They help Bunny go up the ramp. They take Bunny to play throw and catch. Bunny sits there and passes the ball in the throw ball match. They love it when Bunny twirls his chair. Bunny has really nice friends and they all love him and care. Now, they also have another friend, the little mouse. He does not hear so well, but when they do all the actions, what they have to tell him, he understands and all is well. If you speak to him, he understands, and then they move all around and they tell little mouse everything without a sound. So they love to meet in the park, they love to watch the butterflies, they love to watch the bees, they love to watch the birds that fly. They just help each other and everybody will try. That's how it is. They love to water the plants and see them grow. For plants and trees are so important, they know. Friends can be so much fun. Each one just loves each one. And I think children are like that. They don't really see things as with difficulties like we do. And they just include everything, everybody around them with much more ease than we sometimes anticipate. To talk a little more about this, I have with me Monica today. Monica, very, very warm welcome.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you. Thanks for including me.
Oh, yes. Okay. That now, every time I have to introduce a speaker, Monica, I get a profile to read. But I think each time I just put my hand on my heart and I say what I know about the person. So for me, Monica's been somebody who uh, is just includes children. That was the first impression about her. She can tell stories to any child anywhere in the world. It could be a mango festival, it could be a special place where children are being taken care of. I've seen her actually to take stories to street children with lati and a nice cotton sari. So she just includes learning in every possible facet and environment. We've traveled a lot together, we've facilitated a lot of teachers. So I would just introduce you to Monica as somebody who's well traveled, uh, is somebody who's seen a big part of the country because she's not only traveling for her own work, but is also an army, a soldier's wife. So, you can imagine she travels the length and breadth of the country. And a very, very warm welcome, Monica, especially so close to the Army Day.
Thank you
So,
so much,
good
Sonia.
wishes to
Thank
you
you.
and the entire fraternity.
Thank you so much, Sonia. And, with you, I'm always in a happy spot. And my immense gratitude for including me here. And as it is, I think 2020 has taught us all to be in this zone of gratitude. I am in immense gratitude of the environment I'm in right now, wherein, I'm dealing with the heads and they just opened up their hearts to me and I'm in a learning process, meaning these principles and the heads that I work with are so truthful, so passionate, and so driven that I'm in a really happy space right now.
Wonderful. So I think, also what happens, Monica, when we invite a guest, when we plan a topic, we think of an imagery, and it's amazing how the artist, first, how the Square Panda team conveys this imagery and how the imagery comes to me and then it goes out to the audience. Uh, and you have to believe me that very little is changed in every imagery. After it comes, we may just do a minor tweaking, but the basic essence is caught. So I also feel that everybody who's understanding what we say and do, and when I send the imagery to you, you had some very instant reactions. So I thought we must start with that. with a little talk on, your thoughts on that.
Yeah,
Uh,
so yeah, that picture when you sent me, I will, since I'm not an expert on anything, I will only speak about how I feel and what all I have experienced, just that and nothing else. Because I think we have a lot of gyan going everywhere. So, I am no expert. It's just that everything that I speak is from experience and from heart.
So
So when I look at the, yes,
yeah, so
yes,
this is exactly what I thought right from the beginning we should tell the audience that, everybody we are inviting here is not necessarily only an expert on one particular topic. These are teachers, these are facilitators, these are people who've traveled and they bring to us basically everything from the heart. So,
absolutely.
Monica, we understand that.
Yeah, thanks. And we have this shared passion that we have. So,
Yes.
when I looked at the picture, Sonia, the first thing that struck me were the smiles of the children. It was so beautiful. And the second most extraordinary thing was a pre primary male teacher, which is very hard to see in our country. And the third thing was this guy who was replacing the glass, the window pane, was a metaphor for me, was immediate action. So these three things, immediately caught my eye.
I think that was the whole purpose of, bringing it off like, because, somehow we ourselves are so restricted sometimes. I understand when we talk about inclusion, I know that there is going to be special preparation required. I know that for sure. You know that for sure. Systems know that for sure. But even much before we do specific, correctives, I think just our readiness of the mind, and I think that's what we are going to really address today. That, how are we going to address the whole thing? How easily are we going to do it? How difficult are we going to make it for ourselves? I think for me, that is why for me the imagery was very important, because like, also when that replacement of the glass you're talking is na, I also wanted to be that glass which is like a two-way thing,
Right.
where you peep in and somebody can peep out. And I think that was what was really important. And another thing for me which is also very important, also you would know, when we travel and we meet people, it's so beautiful if you are received by people,
Absolutely.
rather than just walking in. And I think some schools are, why for any special needs, some schools are making it a point to receive every child like that.
Yeah. So when you're talking about the picture, while you're talking about, I'm very fond of picture reading. Both of us are very fond of sight words and picture reading. So, there's another picture that my friend sent me, which really caught my eye. There's this, guy who's clearing up the snow. And this wintry evening, we could talk about snow as well.
Yes.
So there was snow on the steps and there was snow on the ramp. And there are about 50, 60 children waiting to walk up the steps. And there's one child on the wheelchair who's wanting to get the ramp cleared. And this man is busy clearing up the steps. So he says, why don't you clear up the ramp first? So he says, because you are the only one who's going to use the ramp. But he said, my dear man, if you clear up the ramp, we all can use the ramp.
How
So,
beautiful.
yeah. So, when we create manipulatives and when we create change and when we have intervention in the classroom, it's not only for children with specific needs or with special need or varied needs. We are addressing everybody's cause, I think. For those changes could help everyone in the classroom.
Yes, yes, so much so. Also, see, when we travel and we meet teachers and we plan different aspects of learning in the early years, we always say that you must have a developmental indicative.
Right.
Teachers must know basic, measurements of what and where, what is to happen. The pace will vary, the way they learn will vary, and that is also the place where maybe a child in need can be identified. So this is one part of inclusion with every child, which I've always talked about. And I thought, we must talk a little bit about this, that how necessary it is for teachers to be aware of the learning, steps. So you can just talk a little bit
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
Also, before that, Sonia, I whatever is coming to my mind, I'm just kind of sharing it with you. Last week I had to do review one movie and talk about it with a group that I'm working with. So I reviewed this movie Tare Zameen Pe. I think most of us would have seen this movie, and I have seen it multiple times. I find it so beautiful. I think it's a very well-made movie. Not that I'm a movie buff, but I was seeing it because of a different reason. Now, the protagonist of the story, or this little boy, if you see the movie again, Sonia, you will realize that so much is said in the movie, and it every time leaves us with moist eyes. Have you ever thought
Yes.
why? This little guy who is just wanting to be looked at, is no person in his area is ready, no stakeholder is ready to give him a look, to hold his hand, to understand his need. So my area is, my thought is that not only should we be infrastructure ready, but are we ready in our attitude? Are we sensitive to the needs of children who want a little bit of more understanding, who want that? Suppose, you being a teacher, you just say, okay, can you explain me a life cycle in a paragraph? Suppose I am your student, and I just explain you the life cycle, of maybe any life cycle we could talk about, not in a paragraph, but I just draw the diagram, maybe life cycle of water or rain or whatever. I just explain you in a diagram, and because I'm not able to write a paragraph, how will you rate me? How will you mark me on that?
This is interesting. So I think this is about almost maybe 15, 16 years back. And there was an EVS paper, that came to me, class one or two or something like that. And this child in the whole paper had only drawn pictures.
Right,
Correct answers.
right,
There was correct answer, but the pictures were drawn. So the
right.
teachers walked up to me and said, now what shall we do? So I said, give the child full marks. So they said, no, but what about the other children? They wrote spelling. So I asked them a simple question, that was your aim to assess them spelling, or was it to assess the understanding of the concept?
That's it. That's
That's
it.
it. So
Yeah, that's it.
if and
So
then after that time, that was the time when CBSE started coming out with their norms, where they started, giving different kinds of question papers, different, and it is so wonderful because it shows a sensitizing system.
absolutely.
And in the early years, it's a little more difficult because spotting the children becomes difficult. But like you said, if you just create a complete environment,
Yeah. And
then
and Sonia, suppose a Sonia Aurelia understands a concept in 5 steps, and a Monica Kakkar understands the same concept in 15 steps. Are we ready with those 15 steps in the classroom?
I think
So
very important.
yeah.
Yes.
So it's not about, see, we all are unique in our ability. So are you giving me the time, space? Meaning, maybe I'm not able to express myself in the set standard way that you want me to.
Yeah.
But maybe I will, my concept clarity is okay, but I'm able to express it in some other way. Why is it in our country that we've made assessment such a bad guy? And why don't we use assessment as a fun thing, as an enabler?
Yeah. I think we are beginning to talk about it, Monica, because I remember we just had Rashmi Chari ma'am, and she said exactly that. So what I put behind was, one class, many needs,
Yeah.
that came from that session. And then moving from there, we said, okay, let's talk a little more about it with, you. There's another question which I thought I must ask you,
Yes, please.
that, you've been working now for about more than 25 years.
Yeah, 20 years of approximate teaching, and what's more than 6 years of teacher facilitation.
Teacher facilitation, and what a journey it's been, right?
Beautiful journey.
And then you decided very recently that you want to do your psychology,
Yes.
and you wanted to. So, what was that need, and when you done it, where do you feel you benefited? This is also for people like us who keep thinking we must, should we learn, should we do that? Just to tell me that
Uh,
what made you do it and what have you learned from it?
Yeah, Sonia, so I label myself as a talking suitcase and quite a footloose variety. So, from moving from BCom honors to varied courses to now doing psychology is just because I want to understand my behavior and the children's behavior that I work with. How do they think? How do they perceive? right? And more than anything else, I'm experimenting on myself, because every day, every moment we are judging for putting ourselves in frames, thinking about, why is she doing that, why is this happening in the classroom, right? So it's things are very, very simple, only we make it too complex. Why is it you think, Sonia, that you have you use so many sight words and in such big fonts in the classroom? Meaning, I'm asking you, sorry to counter question you, because
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
that of
Yes.
rapport, I think, wherein I can
Yeah.
counter
But
question.
I always feel that, if I, like I came across when this whole battle with cursive versus print was happening. And I asked teachers that, why do you introduce cursive so early? Nothing against the font, but why do you use it at this early point? So a teacher came up with an answer and told me that, ma'am, we only use cursive for children who can write cursive. The rest of the children, we tell them to write print. So I said, but what do you write on the board? We write cursive, ma'am. I said, so from day one, you're telling those 15 children that you are unable to write this, so I'm going to give you something else. So for me, a classroom which is ready for different kinds of needs of children mustn't tell that child, you can't do this.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for
You
you. I
follow
would rather
absolutely.
have
Yeah.
a generically well equipped classroom, which, if a child, for example, is extremely well equipped, I will give them more complex activities in the same topic.
And suppose, Sonia, you are my teacher and I'm your student, it all depends on the kind of trust and belief that you have in me. Meaning, if your
Yes,
expectation
yes.
is higher from me, even if I have a specific, learning disability, even if you put
Oh,
your
yes,
belief,
completely.
you see me in a good light, you put your trust in me,
Oh,
I
yeah.
will perform better. You know,
I so believe in this. I so believe in this. There was this a friend's daughter, and I remember when she came in, and I gave her a book to read. I smiled and I told her mom. I said, I think she's going to have spelling difficulties. And I took her mom aside and I said that this is a possibility. So the first thing, what should I do? I said, just make her read a little more, give her bigger cards, just make it like normal. Don't make this and the child today is like graduating from one of the best colleges of the country,
Yeah, and
doing
you
what she
tell me,
wants to.
Sonia, you tell me one person who does not have any kind of obsession or challenge in their life. I have this
Yeah.
obsession of having sharpened pencils on my table
Oh, I
every
know
time
that.
that I work with. You know how obsessive I am with my pencils. So,
Yes, yes.
I'm
I
very
yeah,
fortunate
I
that
also,
yeah,
sorry,
sorry.
sorry. I
Yeah.
said there's a little child in my class. I still remember his name, Abhik, and I remember he wouldn't make eye contact, and he would get very, very violent. And somehow or the other, see, about 25, 26 years back, we were just experimenting. None of us really were, there was no Google to keep typing and searching, but these children came to you. And I remember there was a certain way I would speak to this child. So the minute that tone happened, the child would calm down, he would turn around, he would make eye contact. But the day my voice was turbulent, I could never reach this child.
Absolutely. I
And the
was
day I was
very,
absent, it used
yeah.
to be like scary because they would just not they would just so I told everybody, please follow a pattern, a rhythm, because rhythm and order, we had talked about this, Monica, where rhythm and order. So this is also something which we can actually talk about in terms of children.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm very, very fortunate, Sonia, that I have taught in inclusive environments, and my children have studied in inclusive schools. So I would like to narrate this little incident as you were talking. I just kind of recollected this little event wherein my son, who was in grade one in one of the inclusive schools in Kolkata, and a 6-year-old child was using sign language because his best friend was had hearing impairment, and I was so proud of him as a mother, so proud of him as a mother. So kids are kids, they just learn everything. Like NEP 2020 is talking about equity and inclusivity, they're also
Yeah.
talking about three languages at one time. Kids can just learn anything when they are exposed to.
Yes. So there's somebody asking us that a child who is suffering from learning disability and slow learning. So also for people who, I mean, for all of us, a few words we as teachers avoid. Like I wouldn't say a child is suffering. I would just say that this needs to be addressed.
Yes.
Even the language we use for any need, I would say any need has to be a little more positive.
No, it's just that, Sonia, the way they process their information is
Yeah.
different than
It's
us.
different. It's a
Yeah,
different
it's
processing.
different than us.
Absolutely.
So, who does not make mistakes? Meaning, I do still so many spelling errors. My e's are, moving. Sometimes I read, and even if I put my finger when I'm reading, my lines just shift. So, dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, all of us will have a little bit of it somewhere, we learn concepts on our own pace, but that does not tell you that there is a lack of intellect, right? So the process, the way you process the information might be different, right? But then each one of us are unique in our own ways to process information, meaning.
Yeah, so that is what like, so for somebody to answer this question, when you have children whose pace of learning is different from the other children, I think it is very, very important that we keep a very systematic pattern with children.
Yeah,
We keep offering them a lot of repetition in different ways and
absolutely.
see what they are, ready to observe. I've got another beautiful comment that I was feeling in a room where you have hearing impaired people. They are laughing and chatting, and the conversation is going so fast with their fingers. Yeah,
And
that's what
also,
an imagery. How
yeah.
beautiful is
Yeah,
that?
so,
Yes.
we if we create different manipulators in our classroom,
Yeah.
like if like we were talking about how to answer the question. So in the same way, if I could use a bolder font, I could use more of digital resource. I could give more opportunities in different ways to the children
Yes.
to understand. Meaning, if I don't give multiple instructions, I give simple instruction and I repeat it. I slow down my pace. I be little patient. So, all those things will help children of varied needs to understand at their own pace.
Yeah. Also, I think as classrooms, one challenge that I see teachers see when I was in a classroom, I would also say when there are different needs in a classrooms, the person we have to be most sensitive to is the teacher.
Absolutely.
That's
I
been my
totally
strong,
agree with you.
strong,
Absolutely.
belief in it
Absolutely.
that, while we talk about the need of children, I feel that it's great time of the country where they are continuously talking about teacher needs, because I think it's long overdue. And in early years, it is so essential because this teacher does not get a break. She takes all the subjects. She can be a dance teacher, she has to be a judo teacher, then she has to go and give substitutions to senior classes. So the one thing that I would like to say, Monica, in this particular thing is, when we are talking of inclusion, we didn't have inclusion of just one particular thing in our mind when we decided today's topic, right? I think the teachers as decision makers also need to be more included in the system. Do you feel that too?
Yeah, absolutely, Sonia. In fact, you got this up. This is very beautiful. We were only talking about inclusive curriculum and how that curriculum has to be treated,
Yes.
how we have to shift and make changes in the pedagogical structure that we are, and how the teachers who are enacting this curriculum in the classroom, they have to understand this better, and we can't do it alone. They
Correct.
need somebody, meaning, if I am a unique child or with a child who needs more attention, if the teacher has to treat me well, understand me, understand,
Yeah.
first she needs to be exposed. She needs a specialist with her to guide her, so
Yes.
that, because how is she supposed to do all this?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so we are talking about so much of shift in the curriculum, but also we need to give that teacher multiple workshops to understand what is she supposed to
Yes.
do, how
Yes.
the child needs to be tested. So she needs a special educator with her, a specialist with her who can support her, and then only we can talk about inclusivity in the classroom.
I'm also thinking now that, I'm just talking to you, I'm also thinking that maybe, like everybody says, come up with some solution, come up with an idea, come up with a thought. I'm just thinking that maybe, people who specialize, people who actually, can give solutions, must perhaps share a bit more at this point of time. I remember my conversation with somebody, and she the I had two reactions very interestingly. So I walk up to a special educator and I said that, can you help me with this? So she smiled and told me, I was just coming to you to help me with this because you are the teacher of the child.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, she said
yeah,
that, yeah, because I have used all my techniques and the child is not responding, but I'm told the child responds to you. So I was like, yeah, really? So maybe sometimes I don't realize that the experience. So I also would say record things, refer to things, make your lists in place because these are all important things to do. And I think as teachers, somewhere we need to start saying we need help.
yeah. And Sonia, we should just make a lot of song and dance about it and say, I need help,
I
right?
need.
Whenever we need help. And also, I'm in conversation. I've been talking to this lovely, very passionate principal who's moving from a typical school to an inclusive school. Meaning, I have seen her cohort of teachers putting in so much of work to turn from a typical school to an inclusive school, wherein they have done researches, they've interviewed people, the children's readiness. So basically, what I'm trying to say is just by making a ramp in the school does not make you an inclusive
Yes.
school, right? So the teachers' training is in place. So also at the same time, Sonia, what do you do when you come across a challenge in your life? Meaning, if you are to do something new that you've never done before, what will you do? Tell me.
I call up friends like you and say, help me.
Also,
I just ask, I
you make
shout out,
it,
you can't imagine, Monica, when I'm
you're
designing my
making it sound
work,
so simple, but
I
I
just
know
ask
we
for
work
help.
together. How much of research goes into it? How many
Yes,
notes? How much of scribbling? How much of mind mapping? How much of talking to
yes,
people? But
yes,
believe me, when the outcome, what a beautiful outcome is when we finally come out with ideas. Remember how we used to sit together and brainstorm and
yeah,
come out with things?
yeah.
So, what I'm trying to say is when the teachers are put in the inclusive setting, and when they are told to collaborate, when they are told to brainstorm and think about new ways, they always come out with beautiful
Oh,
solutions.
yes.
Always.
I just yesterday I was telling somebody, I had a little, small interview with someone, and they asked me that, "Oh, how do you think this is going to be possible?" So I said that you can't imagine a teacher what all she can make possible. It's another level of work, and an early years teacher who has, so what I would say, in an environment like this is, I have met very few teachers who don't want to change. I have seen a lot of systems that don't let her change. So
Absolutely.
get our systems into place. That is why the NEP is saying manage your curriculums a little better. Do different kinds of activities for it. See, there will be times when the inclusion is going to be difficult. It's going to be not very easy. But if your mind is ready for it, if your situation is ready for it, and most important, at the end of your 5, 10, 8 weeks, you're not waiting for the question paper to be given to the child. Out of 50 marks, I think a lot is sorted.
And
You feel
also,
that too?
at the same time, when you're talking about teachers, my I also would like to emphasize that we have to not only sensitize all the stakeholders, but also involve all the stakeholders,
Yes.
be it parent, teacher, child, caregiver, special educator, admin,
Everything.
the driver, conductor, gatekeeper, Didi Bhaiyas, everybody needs to be sensitized and involved. There has to be a sync between whatever we are doing.
Yes. And I also think a little more time and energy given to the mothers and the caregivers. It could be the father, it could be the mother, it could be the grandmother, it could be the aunt. Because India still is a community where everybody takes care of the family, right? I also feel that this is just my thought, that at some point of time, it's so important to include the family and the school, everybody together in a space where they work with the children together. I think that little bit needs to be taught because sometimes the mother or the father or the aunt or whoever will pick up things that you do in school, and the school teachers will pick up things that they do at home. I think when you have classrooms like this is one part which I feel is necessary, where you
Yeah.
spend a little time together with the children.
Yeah, and also as a society, I'll just tell you that there's this friend of mine who has two kids with the autism spectrum, and she says, I said, why don't you come home for dinner? She says, no, I won't, because my kids will just move around, break your things and all. I said, I'll put the food outside. I'll put the dining table outside. You come over. So
Yeah, I
giving a
remember
shoulder
this.
to each other, understanding the needs of others. So I think and Sonia, platforms like this, wherein thank you for having me over, because the more discussions we have, the more
The more
platform.
fun.
We might be wrong in our perception, we might be not so expert in our opinion, but at least we are talking about it.
I like this layout on the outside space, and the children getting a little more closer to nature, Monica.
Absolutely.
You
So
you
could I
know
just
so.
read out? I've written
Oh,
something.
please,
Yeah.
please, please.
So pandemic, Sonia, these 9, 10 months, I was observing my own behavior because of the course that I'm doing. And also I was observing nature very closely and the patterns in the nature. So I just I'm going to share a couple of lines that, so when it rains, it does not choose to shower only on some people and leave others out. The sun beams to all of us when it's shining without any doubt. Have you ever seen a tree which is laden with fruits and serves only the best, only the ones who stand out? Let us get back to our innate humanness, wherein we include all, to once again make this generation of our kids stand proud and tall. So, what I am trying to say is, I looked at the guava tree and a mango tree. They never say that, we'll give our best fruit only to the smart learners or only to the person who's very tall and beautiful looking. Anybody, any bird, bee, animal,
You know,
anybody can just eat a guava. So,
today I was holding a little paper because I thought I must do a little bit of research, and it was so interesting. I got a list of famous people. Famous people mean like literally like very very famous names, and all of them had some thing that they were dealing with in life.
So
And
I
I
have
thought
just my
that
favorite Tom Cruise, and I have, so, all of us, I think I'll tell you, when I was in grade six, I was separated from my friends.
yes,
And whole this entire 1 year, Sonia, I put my head on the bench and I was in utter misery, and nobody checked from me how am I feeling. Meaning, I was just separated from my friends.
yeah,
So, you
it's
tell me
traumatic.
that
Yeah.
what kind of study and what kind of academics is of use to me when I am not happy inside, when nobody is checking on me that how I'm feeling.
Yeah. I think, what I'm really happy with in the last couple of months, Monica, is that you today is our 37th session, 37 Sundays at a stretch. And I've been learning, I've been listening to people, I have been just the one thing that I realized is that so many people who came onto our platform are not most of them are just doing their own work in their own niche. I actually have to search for y'all and pull y'all out and say, please come and talk to us. And it's amazing how many who came on, the show have told me that they've had some serious setbacks in their early years or during the middle school or early school, and they were identified with different problems. But when we all sat down as individuals today, we didn't feel any different from the other. We just
Yeah,
felt we were all
absolutely.
on the same
Absolutely.
ground. And there were so many, you have to believe me, that there were so many speakers who I was speaking to earlier, like before the show, and I give you all a call, who told me, I used to have this problem, or I used to have this problem. And it was just imagine today we are all sitting and discussing and talking. So I just feel that don't take, it's not that we should undermine it, we shouldn't undermine a thing that we see, but at the same time we should not make this the like a thing to be worried and scared about.
Also, say, so Sonia, for a class, for a school to identify the needs,
Yeah,
meaning be it any need,
yeah,
to test it, to work on it,
yeah,
to create manipulators in the classroom, to put all the stakeholders, be open about it, talk
Yeah.
about it. Meaning, don't you see in an environment, just take a metro station, for example. Now you have a tactile path, you will have a brain signage, So, as a nation, I think,
Oh,
as a
we
society,
are.
I think we are just slowly opening up
Yes.
to talk about, and we don't kind of now at least put things under the carpet and say that there's somebody, a lady that I know, she says, she was just narrating this experience. She was saying, my her older son was a child with special needs, and the younger one was a typical child. And he says, my younger one, while I used to move around in the lift, she would tell the entire building people that, my brother is little different, but don't feel awkward about it. So,
No, so no, so
so
normally, yeah, just so
yeah.
normally,
So she says that he will take his older brother to the children park and he will say, my brother will trouble you a little bit. He'll speak little loudly, but don't worry, he's a nice guy.
Oh,
So,
how sweet is that?
yeah.
That's how
So,
children are. I think
yes.
that's how children are, and that's how we need to like. And I also like what you said that we've stopped sweeping things under the carpet. We are looking at things in the eye. We are saying that yes, we have a special requirement for taking care of certain situations. Kindly help us out.
Yeah.
And saying that you need to be equipped with a questionnaire, you need to know the phases of the children, you need to be in connect with the child's family. So these are all very important things, and like I said that it's also very important for the adults to connect with each other.
Yeah. Also, Sonia, at the same time, while you're talking about the teacher, this one thought just crossed my mind right now. When I say that I'm not trained enough to handle these children,
Yes.
right? So I'm just a simple B.Ed. Now, okay, I'm not trained. I do need a special intervention in my classroom, a specialist to come in, but I'm a teacher. I know how to love. I know how to care, right? That no B.Ed or no special education will teach you. That
Yeah.
is when you have taken up this profession, meaning that a mother, a teacher, a father, all of us as humans, we have this innate thing in us that, you know,
So I have a friend who is a special educator, and she was telling me that some days everything I've studied in books fails. Everything fails, and then
yeah.
she says I just follow my instinct and my experience, and I get the child to respond to me.
Yeah, so I open up my class with a story, Sonia. Whether it's
Okay.
like working in the hospital with, with young learners, with children, or in when I do my Nukkad Natak or anywhere, I open
So
up with a
I
story or a mind map.
Yeah, so Monica, I also want to tell the audience. So Monica has worked very closely with children who are terminally ill. I've seen her personally do that. So imagine you're actually walking in and you know that maybe the next week that you come, you won't see the child again, right? Uh, it's not easy for the parent, and it's not easy for anybody, but to still walk in and make that last week good for the child. I think that is also one of the reasons where I've actually invited Monica, because I saw her working so closely and coming back and making it. Of course, it affected her a lot, but it was like, I have to make it really beautiful.
I had to get myself ready for Sonia. And even if for a while, if I could put a smile on their faces, and I would just tell them to visualize that you're playing in the garden. And this little girl told me, but I can't go to the garden. I said, but we can think about going to the garden. We can just visualize that we are sitting on a
The
swing, running
stories.
around through stories. So, stories are very powerful. I don't have to tell you because you are a master storyteller yourself. So, but when we make things look easier, simpler, and we do it joyfully and with a good intent, I think
Yeah.
it does create a shift and it does make a difference.
Yes, yes. So, first of all, we have to be in acceptance. We have to shout out and ask for help as teachers, as parents, as adults taking care of environments. We have to be equipped in different ways. And I think one of the big changes that the whole process is asking us to do is not to do bulk work, not to do loads and loads and loads of just information. Let it
Just
be
break it down into small
this
pieces,
into
break it down into small steps, and also,
and
Sonia, to have more platforms wherein we could discuss or we could train our teachers better, give them more opportunities,
Yeah.
expose them to better things. You and I were like, you remember how we started? We knew nothing. How did we evolve? How did we,
Yeah.
little things like you do
Yes.
these puppets so beautifully, effortlessly. They look to be very simple, but if I'll do the same thing, I won't be able to do it, because we all have our skill sets, different skill sets
Yes.
that we
Yes.
have.
So basically, putting the dots together. If you have a good skill set, you lend it to me. I have a skill set. I say lend it to you, and we keep connecting the dots. In schools, I also see one very important thing is a little more relaxed environment for the teachers will mean a little more relaxed environment for the children. So when we are getting ready to come back from something like what we have seen like never before, we've seen teachers who have really worked hard. The last 10 months have been beyond what we can imagine. We also must think that when this whole team of community of teachers is going to come back, let's make their working a little more pleasant.
Absolutely, Sonia. And Sonia, when we go out in the market, we see people working in groups, going in friends, meeting over a cup of coffee, always in groups, right? Why can't in schools we work in groups? In
Oh
classrooms we
yeah.
work in groups.
Oh
So
yeah.
as human beings, we are designed to work in cohorts and groups. So that is why you see NEP 2020 talking about collaboration and working in groups such big time, activity based, play way. Why do we do all this? Because it involves everybody.
It involves, and it involves everybody without bifurcating them. And the other day I was just telling, they said that, aren't you an idealist? Somebody asked me that. So I said, only so who changes the world? Let's just think of all the people who change the world. These are all people who believe they can change the world, because they don't believe that they can't change the world. I remember when I started working and people told me this can never work, I would smile at them and say, oh no, we'll make it work. So that is the spirit we are looking at today. When we talk about inclusion, it means inclusion of talents, it means inclusion of special needs, it means inclusion of different levels of the economic strata. It's a lot of thoughts that have to go in together. And it's
Also,
doable.
Sonia, I might be just a drop in the ocean or a blade of
But
grass.
you're a job.
Yeah, but I'm still very effective, right? And I'm
I feel.
unique. So,
Yeah.
that's more important.
So I remember, Monica, when we started this whole show and we decided to talk to people, I remember asking the Square Panda, the team leader Ashish, that, what is it? What are the kind of people are you looking for? Or so he just smiled and told me, a community has all kinds of people. So we are just looking for people. I thought that was like such a wonderful way to just, and there'll be times, Monica, when the speakers who come have their own thoughts, have their own, way of. So our purpose of doing this show also is that is why I don't send you a list of questions.
That's very important. And in fact, I found it very interesting that you just invited me and you come over, and I didn't know what I'm going to say, but this is so beautiful. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's very nice, Sonia. And
So
also, probably what we are saying now will not be relevant tomorrow, because we will evolve. We will evolve into something else. But at least we are making a shift. We are changing, and we are changing constantly in thinking about it. We are part of the
yes.
whole process. So it's not about saying what you are saying is right, but it's the journey that we are enjoying.
Oh, yes. And it's so important. I remember many years back, Monica, I had gone into a small school and I asked him, आप कलम कब देते हैं? And he said, जब बच्चे का हाथ कान तक पहुंच जाता है. And a 3-year-old's hand does not reach the other side of the head. Learning indicative. As simple as that. So these
Yeah.
are learning indicatives. All
So,
of us must have
Sonia,
our lists.
this reminds me of a very, in fact, this was grade two, and I was the class teacher, and there was this child in my class who was writing in mirror imaging. The B and D was in inverse. So, what I did was, where the all the B's and D's were in mirror imaging, what I did, I drew a bed on that page, right? And I told this girl that your pillow side is your B and your feet side is your D. And I drew it. I drew this bed. So the pillow side is the B and
Can
the
you
feet
just
side
quickly
is the
draw it for us if you have? I'm sure you have a paper.
okay. Yeah, let me try. So it's like This is what I drew, and I don't know whether you're able to
Yeah, we
see.
can see it. Just put it against, just write it and flash it up. Then you'll be able to.
Right. I'm using a pencil, my favorite one. So here
Yes,
I am.
sharpened one.
If you're able to see this.
You just shift it a little inside, Monica, this side. I can just lift it up and shift it to the little to the left. My left. So you're right. Shift it to the right. Shift it to the right. Little more, little more, little more, little more. Yeah, we got it. All right. Thank you so much. That was nice.
Yeah. So I told her that my tummy is my B and my bum is my D. Right. And so, as simple as that. And she got her B and D to be right. So that's it. So what we have to do is create images, create clues. And that's how we can help our children. That's it. Imagine it was so difficult for me when you were telling me to shift the paper. So if I give you
Left to
an
right.
instruction, Sonia, okay, now you open your book, page number 52, go on the second line and start reading it from right to left. It will be so complicated for you.
Yeah, so one step at a time. So
Absolutely.
that's one strong message. One step at a time. Keep moving. Ask for help.
Absolutely.
Don't
And
get
create
worried.
clues. Whenever we land up in difficulty, we have to break it up, create images, create interesting clues, stories for children to remember the sequence, remember the idea,
And
remember the
we'll do
concept.
one session on mind mapping. That is another great way for children to
My
learn. So
favorite.
yeah, the favorite. But like I told you, Monica, fortunately for this entire platform of 45 minutes,
Sonia, I want
some
to show you this. When you talk about mind mapping, what I wanted to speak today is here, mind map.
oh, beautiful. That's lovely. So, this is the whole I think the whole essence of this show, Monica, that there is no showbiz in it. It's absolutely from the heart. It's straightforward. We don't expect any, I mean, we just expect a simple human interaction. And so nice
Absolutely.
that you actually picked up the mind
Yeah,
map
and
and
you can
showed
give
it
me
to us.
five.
God bless you.
This is so
And
we're talking about
yeah,
little hands at work, and
yes. Thank you so
that's
very
it. But
much.
let me, as we part, Sonia, let me just tell you that we have this beautiful community of teachers and
Yes.
these lovely set of principles. So the heart is in place. It's just that sometimes our circumstances and situations become little tight. That's the only.
Yes. So next week, Monica, we have Dr. Jawahar, and he is being with the Square Panda team. And I waited to invite him because I said that, um, he's somebody with so much of experience. And our next week's topic is going to be dream, vision, and the way ahead. So the
Wow.
dreams is step one.
Very
And
nice.
we hope that, and I'm sure it's going to be another very, very enriching session. And we will keep calling all our speakers back at some point or the
Thank
other.
you,
And
Sonia.
thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you, Mo, power to you and Square Panda, and thank you all the audience for
They're
being
doing a wonderful job. They
lovely.
will keep collecting all of
Thank
us
you.
together. Bye bye.
Thank
And
you.
thank you.
Bye bye. Bye.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
God bless. Bye.
Thank you, Monica.
Square, square, panda.